Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning, good morning. All right, welcome in. Good morning. Come on in, get comfortable, have your stuff to write with, something good to drink. Let yourself be in a open, receptive state of mind, state of being, relaxing, knowing that there's nothing that you have to do, only that which you want, and that manifesting and abundance are our natural state of being. So we just step into a place of allowing that, saying yes to it, being really comfortable, knowing that it's not something, another task that we have to conquer or learn. We may have to relearn it, but be easy with it. I just want everyone to be so easy with this, because the least resistant and more in the flow we are, the better. So go ahead and chime in. Hey, Juliet. Juliet's here. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. So as we're coming in this morning, feel free to type in the chat box anything that you'd like to share so far, any new manifestations, any thoughts and beliefs maybe that you have had a relationship change with, some cleaning up of the energetic thought processes that have been lingering for too long. So let us know what's going on with you. How's your vibe today? What did you do to get yourself into the manifestation mode? Did you do anything specific to raise your vibe? Did you take the pulse of your vibe and ask, how's my vibe? Those are good questions. When we ask those questions, then we can do things. We can alter them. Eileen is here. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I'm glad you all are coming back. That tells me that you're getting something out of this, which is the whole reason for me being here. I am here to serve and to really spread this message around as much as possible. I know it was trendy at one time, but it's not a trend, it's a law. And it's like, we need to keep practicing this and practicing. It's not something that we necessarily master. I think that's a loaded word, but it's something that we just continue to practice, and we get better and better and better at doing that. All right, so today we are going to focus on the traits of the empath. And I know that just because you're here, you are one. The majority of people that I work with are empaths. And empaths are wired a little bit differently, a lot differently actually, than the rest of the population, in that we are very intuitive, we are very sensitive, we are very psychic, we are the healers. So a lot of the empaths actually take jobs in hospitals. They're counselors, therapists, teachers. They're the helpers. They're the soft place where people go to for nurturing and for feeling safe and secure, right? So, I mean, there's so many different ways that we can help and that we can access our gifts and share them. They are not limited to those professions. There's empaths who are accountants. There are empaths who are police officers and lawyers. I think that the core is the same. The core is to improve upon our society and to help and to be that beneficial presence to the planet. Not everybody feels that. And so that's how I started to discover and stumble upon my own empathic nature, because I assumed that that's how everybody was wired. Everybody is here to share their gifts and to help. I think that that is somewhat true, but not everybody is motivated by that. Not everybody wants to, tap into that and express that and explore that. But it feels like the empaths, we really have no choice. we're being pulled all the time in those directions because we are sensitive, because we do feel the places that need to be healed. We feel the deficits, we can see them. And we just want to fix that. We want to be a part of the solution to those broken places or those places that need improvement, right? So, with regards to abundance and manifesting, I want to remind people who are just coming in, good morning. Go ahead and chime in. Write down in your chats any new victories. Hello, Dana. Any new manifestations that have popped up. How your vibe is feeling, what you're doing differently, if anything, in your life so far. What are you noticing? Are you noticing anything new coming up around you? Are you noticing your thought processes being altered and a little bit different? So share with us what's happening in your world as a result of being here and showing up every morning and having that intention to manifest and to manifest extra income and manifest extra blessings. So feel free to share. I'd love to hear your stories. All right, so today we're going to talk about the law of reciprocity, intuition, you being a clear channel, voting with your dollars. So we have a few hot, good topics to really dive into and to explore. So one of the bigger laws at play when it comes to manifesting, beside the law of attraction, that's the obvious one, right? There's also this law called the law of reciprocity. It's one of my favorites to study. It's one of my favorites to watch in motion. It's really interesting. Kristen, good morning. So Kristen shares that she manifested dinner last night. Yay! My boyfriend brought home enchiladas. My vibe is feeling a little low because of the fear, so I am addressing it and grateful to be here. This is so appreciated. Well, I appreciate you. And this is perfect, Kristen, that you're taking steps to improve your feelings of fear and addressing your fear and being with it and knowing that, okay, I'm fearful, but I'm going to open myself to possibilities to manifest better, et cetera, et cetera. So you're simultaneously feeling all of these things. That is the key. There's so many people who manifest who try to deny or push or squash their fear, pretend it's not there. And what happens with that? We're forcing down like a beach. It's garbage day. Sorry, pretty loud out there. We're like trying to suppress or put an inflatable beach ball under the water. What happens? Well, this thing called gravity happens, and so poof, it's just going to pop up, right? So being real about where you are is much appreciated. And then Dana, she says that I have a manifestation question. Can you manifest something for someone else? My husband is very ill. Can I manifest healing for him? That is a big topic, Dana. That I teach a whole unit on that. It's actually in the springtime when I teach the empathic healer. So yes and no. We have to respect other people's energy and knowing that they are vibing at their own level as well, and that they are in their dharma and their purpose and their journey. We can, and I'm going to share something really personal with you. So I debated if I was going to bring this up or not, but you started it, Dana, so I'm going to, because it really demonstrates a point. So a lot of you know that I have a son who struggles with or is challenged with mental illness and addiction. And I moved up here 3 years ago when he was homeless and very bipolar, very manic, and then he went through depression. And so I moved up here to provide him an environment where he can heal himself, because all healing is self-healing. But I really do believe that we have to create an environment that is conducive to the healing. So that was my job. I'm mom. I'm going to provide that. Well, after about 2.5 years, his depression lifted, everything lifted, his personality came back. And so I thought, great, he's healed. This is wonderful. He went and got a job. He was thriving in his life, probably for a good 8 months. And then he had an accident, skateboarding, and he broke his leg. And while he was in the hospital, they gave him oxy and he relapsed. And so yesterday I shared that I was flat for about a month. My son relapsed. He chose drugs again, and he's homeless again. And he lost his job and he lost his home. Now, you know that I am manifesting my eyeballs out to bring him back and to make him whole. And I also have to respect that those are his choices. And this is part of his lesson and part of his plan and things that he needs to learn. So I find myself now, with the way more information and knowledge that I have about his condition, and a lot of work of acceptance and release and more acceptance and more release. It has been a huge, huge challenge for me. But I'm doing it, and just like Kristen, I'm in the fear. I'm in it, and I'm walking alongside, and I visualize him being whole and healthy. And this is what you can do as the healer that you are, Dana. You can visualize your husband whole and healthy. The question is, do they want to be whole and healthy? Do they want that? We can't force it, but we can certainly create a space, and we can have our own intention and put love and healing on them, and see them, visualize them as their highest, most amazing selves. It takes work because they're showing us something else. And so that's where we get into our imaginations, and we remember, we recall their magic and their glory, and we see them in all of that. And we also know, or I know, that anything is possible, so I never give up hope. But at the same time, I'm respecting his own energy field, right? Thank you for all the hearts, you guys. It's a tough share. I couldn't have shared it with you a month ago without just bursting into tears. So, and the beauty of this manifesting thing too. Okay, this is fun. So I saw him this morning. I manifest, I pray, I intend, okay, universe, let me see my son today. I want to check in with him. I want to show him that I love him. I want to see that he's okay. Because the mother is never going to stop worrying or being concerned with their children's health and well-being. So just like clockwork, I'm driving back from the hotel. I'm coming here, and boop, I see his head. And it's like, really? And it happens every time. It's like he's a magnet, and I'm just drawn to him, and the universe is just pulling back the curtain and going, here you go. That whole genie in the bottle, how does that go? Your request is my demand, or something like that. You guys will write it in the Aladdin thing. So I saw him this morning. All I can do was stop the car, pull over, and call his name. He's really out of it. And I just said, well, I have to stop to give you a hug. And I just hugged him so hard. And I said, I love you. I love you. You know where I'm at if you need anything. And he was very receptive and open. But he does not receive when I'm saying, you should go to a doctor. You need to get a psych eval. You need to do this. You need to take these meds. We can't interfere with that, because it just creates so much resistance in their healing process. They have to want it. They have to have a belief into it, just like we do on our end. So it's complicated. But like I said, Dana, I teach a whole unit about this healing and energy healing. Let's see on the back shelf, if you can see, I'm reading this book back here on energy healing. I study every type of energy healing possible. I'm a Reiki master. I've been doing this a long time. It's not a guarantee, though, because we are playing with other energies. So I hope that helps. and answers your question. But keep him, the best thing that you can do is keep a vision of him in your mind's eye in a high place, in a healed place. If we get into the fear of, oh my gosh, he's going to die, or oh my gosh, and we're feeding the monster, we're feeding the wrong monster. So we want to feed the right energy. We want to send that right energy. And as we're doing it, we are, of course, we have our background noise of fear going on, but we are pushing beyond that, and we are desiring, hoping, believing, and knowing for more and better. And that's the best that we can do. And then when we're going to talk about the intuition part, when we hear the messages that come to us for guidance for answers and solutions, like this doctor or that medication or fill in the blanks, then we can help distribute that as well, and ask them to have that same level of guidance, because we all have guidance, every single one of us. So your prayer could be, okay, spirit guides, show my husband what his possibilities are, what his healing can look like, how that can feel. Start really bringing that in, and that is our manifesting ability. So don't stop, don't quit, don't give up. And I needed to hear that today, right? All right. So yeah, thanks for letting me share that. I appreciate your receptivity on that. So with the getting into the law of reciprocity, some of you guys know it as, I'm going to scroll down and make sure I don't have questions. Oh, okay, Dana says, I was thinking of putting some pictures of him when he was healthy in his hospital room. Do you think that is a great... Well, let me show you what I have in my office. I have a picture of my little son when he was little. It's like, yes, do... See, now you made me cry. Do everything that your intuition says to do. Have those pictures, have those victories with him. Put your wedding pictures up, the happy moments. All of those things help most definitely to raise your vibration and to keep it in a high place. So yes, absolutely. Okay. Whoo-wee. This is some deep stuff, guys. And this is why yesterday I made a strong point that just because we're empaths and we're intuitive and we're healers and we are really good at manifesting doesn't mean that we don't have life challenges. It's not always lollipops and rainbows. It is majority of the time, though. I would say like 80% of the time. And then actually in my own personal world, in my own personal life, it's more like 95% of the time. It's the external situations and attachments that we have to our loved ones that are the typical stressors for us, because we love so much. The empaths, we are just heart-based. We're very heart-centered, loving people who want to nurture and help. So a little backstory too on when my son first had his first psychotic break. He was 19 years old. Out of the blue, I had no idea. It was all new. I ran into a spiritual teacher friend of mine. This was in Denver at a coffee shop. Out of all the thousands and thousands of people to see, and I haven't, I didn't live in Denver. I was there for the emergency. I lived in Long Beach. And so I go to this coffee shop, and there's my friend Chet. And we both were spiritual teachers, and we went and did talks at different spiritual centers and whatnot. One of the most amazing minds I've ever known. And so I'm all sad, and he can tell. And he's like, hey, let's have a cup of coffee and a conversation. We sit down, and I tell him what's going on with my son and how he's hospitalized. And Chet looks at me like, oh my gosh, I have two boys who are going through the same exact thing. And so we really bonded and connected over that. And then I got mad, and I said, why us? Why us? We're like the best parents and the best guides and the best teachers. And then he looked at me and goes, that's exactly why. Because we can handle it, because we have the tools and the resources and the love and the empathy to that they need, you know. And if you believe in soul contracts, they picked us. We picked them, they picked us. I don't know if I believe that because I can't validate it, but uh, the reality of the situation is I probably am the perfect person for this job. Um, in the caring and empathy department. Of course, with all of this though comes a great deal of self care and not neglecting our own needs and fortifying ourselves. Hugely important, especially for the empaths, because we can get very drained and very zapped by, you know, being nurturing all the time, and then for everybody else, and oh, we forgot ourselves. So we have to include ourselves in that nurturing process that we naturally do for others. And that really does tie into the law of reciprocity. Kristen says, I am the perfect person for the job. Thank you. That's so sweet. Um, so I wish I didn't have the job though, honestly, but I do. I accept. Okay. So going with that law of reciprocity, and let's continue with that whole self-care thing. You know, it's about the law of reciprocity says you get what you put out, you receive what you give. So giving and receiving are the opposite sides of the same coin. You can't have one without the other. And when we understand this and also treat the law of reciprocity just like gravity, it's working 24/7 all the time. We know that whatever we're putting out, we're getting back. Putting out, we're getting back. Um, with self care, though, it seems like I know when I do my work, I am giving a lot of myself, but I love it. It charges me. It charges me. So I get the energy back. And just like answering your question, Dana, that was for me too, you know. And so I heard what I said, and I got counsel from on high along with you, right? So when we're in that healthy place of reciprocity, we are getting charged and fed back. And I hear a lot of healers say that, you know, or a lot of people ask the healers, the normal people asking the healers, aren't you drained by the end of the day? And the healers that I know say absolutely not, because that healing energy is going everywhere, all over me too, right? So what goes around comes around, what goes around comes around. Now, a lot of times though, when we are just putting it out, putting fires out, and not, you know, taking care of ourselves, or we're in a really big place of fear, that can be very draining. And so we have to differentiate between the two and get ourselves energetically aligned with, don't forget yourself in this equation. You know, don't burn yourself out. Take a time out. That's why I stayed at a hotel for 3 days, right? And I got to swim and I got to just hang out and be in just a different environment. So self-care is a big part of the empath journey and really taking care of ourselves. So if you have any questions, let me know. With the law of reciprocity, or also known as like karma, the law of karma, um, what what goes around comes around. That was the phrase that my dad used in our house all the time. So we know that the receptivity, I'm going to go deep into receptivity in just a minute, but first I want to hit on the highlight that most spiritual teachers forget, and that is the giving part. So, yep, we are receptive, but especially in the realm of manifesting money, we first have to give it away. And you're going to be like, what? I'm manifesting money because I don't feel like I have enough. That's exactly what my response was when I first heard of that Unexpected Income Club, because the class actually at the Spiritual Center cost money, and then you were expected to give them 10% of your income while you were in this 6-week class. And I thought, no way, I don't have that. I can't do that. And then my mentor at the time, she was the pastor at the church. She says, you can't afford not to. She says, just give what you got right now, and more will come. Watch. And I thought, okay, I'm going to step in faith and I'm going to do it. And I did it. And then I got really happy to give the spiritual center my 10%. It's like, oh, look what we collaborated. Look what we created. This is so amazing. I didn't know I had this power. This is so cool. And so their philosophy is that you tithe. That's what they call it. Um, it's a form of, showing financial, energetic exchange, respect, giving some back because they are pivotal teachers in your life, right? So today's homework is going to be for you guys to start looking for places to give. And that giving doesn't necessarily have to be cold hard cash. You can buy somebody a cup of coffee who's behind you. You can start with something really small, put it to the test. Because what this is all about is random acts of kindness. It's about showing up in your daily life as that giver that you are. And guess what? The empaths are the best givers. We give to fault, right? So start looking for places to give your time, your energy, help, an ear for somebody to to talk and to express themselves. Thank you. You guys all did that for me today. Um, you can use the Facebook group as one of your places that you can do this. So the things that you're going to be giving to activate the law of reciprocity are vast. You can pick some fruit off your tree and go give it to your neighbor. You can give some veggies from your garden to the pharmacist. The opportunities to give are endless. So don't let that scare you or put you in a place of, oh my gosh, well, I'm here because I'm trying to manifest more because I feel like I don't have enough. Know that, no. This is how the party starts. This is the magic of manifesting. This is the key to manifesting as I know it. It's once we let go of the hoarding or the tightness and the restriction about our stuff, and we let it go and we give it away. When we're doing that, we are telling the universe that I know you got my back. I know that there's more. I know that more money will come. I know that more food will come. I know that more everything will come. I know the ideal job will come because I'm here to serve. I already signed up for that. And I know that maybe it's not here yet, but I know it's coming. I know it's here. So let me start the party by being the first to give. So give it away, give it away, give it away. And the amazing thing happens. You just crack open this portal. When you are in a giving place, you have changed your mind. Your belief system says something very profound. So the mistake that I see people make when they're manifesting is to ask, believe, and then sit back and just receive. Like, okay, where is it? And to me, that's where the action part comes in for us, where it's time for us actually to activate the manifestation. We already activated it just by setting our intention and asking, for sure. But then we have to get ourselves into the receptivity mode, and how we do that best is by giving. Same coin, opposite sides, right? So is this making sense to you guys? Is this whole idea of reciprocity making sense? And that it's up to us. Okay, Abraham Hicks uses this analogy, and I liked it. A long time ago I heard it. It's like the flow of abundance in the universe is constant. Constant, constant, always on, always on. And what we do with our negativity or our limited thinking, excessive fear, all those things, is we can put a crimp in the hose. So think of the garden hose and the abundance, never-ending abundance just going through, and then we go and we tie it off and we stop the flow. So it's really up to us to get the flow going again. Let it run, but then even more so, go turn up the spigot, turn it up. And how we turn it up is by giving. So today, you're going to be looking for little places to give. Don't effort, don't try hard. Your reticular activating system in your brain is already on the job. And so you will naturally be attracted to places, people, and things that you can, oh my goodness, that you can give to. Okay? So that's part one of all of this. Let me know if this is resonating with you, freaking you out, if you've ever heard this, if you're ready to go. And also, chime in and let me know like one thing that you have, and it could be physical or mental or esoteric, one thing that you have that you can give somebody today. What's one thing that you can give? And it's so amazing when we do this, because if you haven't seen manifestations happen in your life up to this point, day 3, you will. Today is the tipping point. Today is the activation day, And so when we go first, boom, and we give something, we're flipping the switch for manifestation. We're in the process now. There's no going back. That's where I said that's where the flooding starts to happen. It's like that's when you start to see the miracles, just the abundance just coming into your life like gangbusters. And so it's just beneficial for us to always stay in this relative state of mind, always keeping in mind the law of reciprocity. It's really good stuff. Let's continue to just talk about that. So the law of reciprocity also does something for us that I think is very empowering and really good for our communities. When we are spending our money, for example, when we're giving it away, it's an energy exchange. Money is energy, right? You're actually voting with your dollars. So you are affecting change. You are voting literally with your dollars on, products that are wanted and desired, stores that are wanted and desired. So I'm always encouraging people to, shop at the mom and pop stores, shop locally, go to the farmers markets, vote with your dollars, because not only are you getting the fresh produce with your dollars that nourishes your body, you are helping a family. You are providing the income required for this farm to grow food and to run. Big picture stuff. And I think we take a lot of this stuff for granted, right? Okay, so I'm going to read some. So Kristen says, right now I'm giving my time for free for therapy sessions. Yes, you are. To be fair, this was not my choice, but I could have canceled, but I wanted to still show up for my clients. Yes, that, and I if I can share, Kristen, we talked about this, and this is Kristen's just a heart-centered person, and as she's giving, I know that she will be rewarded greatly, because we don't necessarily give to be rewarded, but guess what the side effect is? We are rewarded. So that's a pretty good side effect. I'll take it. And then Kristen says, I will be waiting to receive inspiration for how to give back to my boyfriend who has been incredibly supportive to me lately. Yes, you will. You'll be divinely inspired as to how you can surprise him with some of your magic and your gifts. So there will be plenty of opportunities on that. All right. So let's continue talking about voting with your dollars a little bit. So I think today it would be good, if you're comfortable with this, to really, let's do the experiment using cash. Let's do it, right? Let's give a homeless person some money. My son is one of those people, right? And so before he was homeless, I judged, as a lot of people did. And it's like, no, they're just going to spend it on whatever. And now I'm like, I don't care what they spend it on here. If it gives you pleasure, if it gives you another day and an opportunity for me to give, then I'm going to give it. So you can give some money to a homeless person. You can, Dana, when you're in the hospital today, go visit somebody who is sick, offer them some encouragement. You can, um, that one's not monetary, but I just was inspired to share that with you. And then at the coffee shop, pay for the person behind you, or you'll find a way. But put the money to the test today. Buy your friend lunch today. Do something that feels organic and natural. You don't have to effort on this one. Opportunities will show themselves. So Eileen says, an ear, a video chat, caring to check in with each other, emotional support. Absolutely. Absolutely. Do you know how far that goes? Do you know how far I'm sure that my hug healed me this morning, and hopefully my son? Just knowing that somebody cares, that's the magic, and that is the job of the empath. We are here to spread that stuff around and to make life a little kinder, a little nicer. Yes, good ideas. And okay, yes, really good ideas. And to, be the pay it forward people. Like I said, there's a lot of heaviness on our planet. The empaths are the light workers. We're here to change it up. We're here to be a blessing. We're here to make it softer. We're here to make it kinder. And yes, it can feel like it's overwhelming and exhausting. But that, for whatever reason, that's why we're here. And I take that job very seriously. So know that about yourself and go, dang, I have a really important job. This is so cool. How can I serve? What can I do? How can I improve my own skills? That's why I'm here. I'm here to help the empaths improve their skills so that they can be just these magical manifestors and healers and intuitives, and really use that light that is in every single one of us empaths and really blast it and shine it, and be just that beneficial presence. It doesn't have to be grand. It can be just little stuff every day. Little stuff every day. And it's obvious. You can see the light workers. This reminds me of a quote from Mr. Rogers' mom. He shared that when he was little, and scary things were happening in the world, his mom said, to the effect, "Don't worry, sweetheart. There will always be helpers. You will always see the helpers. Just look around and you'll see the helpers and go to them," right? Well, the helpers are us. We are the light workers. We are the empaths. We are the caregivers. We are the people who care. And there's a very distinct difference between the empaths and the majority of the world. And this is something that I have been studying, and it's fascinated me for 20 years. I didn't exactly have the words for it. I don't even think we used the word empath back then. But it is the perfect word to describe us and what it is that we do. We care. We naturally care. We feel. And the majority of the world are, they're busy with whatever it is that they're wanting to do. Makes the money, get high. I don't know. I don't know. So, there's a distinction, and there's also another, like a biblical quote that says, "The meek will inherit the earth." And I think that the meek are the humble, the empaths, the kind, the light workers, the helpers. We're kind of quiet. We're not demanding. We're not ego driven. We're not trying to win and conquer and mine and all that craziness. We're kind of the opposite of that. So we take a back seat a lot, and I know I did politically for years, because it just felt like that's not the energy that I want to spend my time in. But it feels like we are being called out now and elevated, and like the curtains are opening for us to walk forward in our full glory and to be the help on the planet. Okay, I get a little preachy when it comes to my work, but I know that you could all relate to it, I'm sure. Dana says, I give a lot already and have been reluctant to give more because I feel other people's pain. I care and want to help, but realize I can't help everyone because everyone does not want help. That is so true. And I'm not saying that we're looking for broken people to help. You know, today's experiment is we're just going to be a light. We're just going to be helpful. And this is the role that I have just completely surrendered to. And I'm that girl when, and you probably are too, when I go to the grocery store, plus I'm 5 feet 10, right? But I go to the grocery store and there's a little old lady who says, Can you reach that for me? It's like, Of course. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. We don't have to help all the wounded warriors. We can just be a beneficial presence on the planet. We can let somebody in traffic. We can fill in the blanks. There's a zillion ways that we can be kind and helpful and pay it forward. We don't have to burn ourselves out, and we don't have to go find people who are broken to help, right? Everybody deserves love and kindness. And we don't know the stories of everybody that's walking around. So that guy that you buy his coffee at Starbucks, that you just acknowledge him, who knows what he's going through? Who knows what level of healing that you have delivered to this person, right? So we're not going to judge it, we're just going to do it. And then we're going to just let it go. But I can guarantee you that when you get into that mode and that mindset, that your blessings are going to come chasing you down as a result of that. And that's not why I do my work, but it is the consequence, and it's amazing, and it buoys me up, and it continues my energy to do my work even more so and more so and more so, right? So that's what we're going to really focus on for the next the rest of the challenge. So every day we're going to find places to give. We're just going to keep that energy going. So let's talk about, unless you guys have any more questions. Another little thing that I want to talk about with regards to voting with your dollars. Um, this is something that I learned specifically in the Unexpected Income Club at the Spiritual Center. It's when you pay your bills. When I don't write checks anymore, but back when I learned this, it's like you put a little smiley face on the check or a little heart or something. But you can still have the intention when you pay your bills online or however you pay them that, wow, I'm so grateful that I have the money to pay this bill and that I have this service and this is so cool. My life becomes more easy and modern, and all the things that I can do with electricity and internet. And this is amazing. I'm so happy to pay for this. So, getting out of that drudgery energy of paying your bills is a blockage. It blocks your channel. And so everything that we're going to be doing here is to open up yourself as a channel to manifesting and to receiving, to giving and receiving. So we want that hose. We want it to be clean, open, and clear. And so hopefully you've already done some um, so paying your bills with love and gratitude is huge. And it's something that I never did. When I learned how to do this, now it's a very conscious thing that I do, very conscious. And so yes, I'm really grateful that you know I have this ability, and I have the ability to pay it online. It's like done. I also have the ability to receive money online. Done. So there's a lot to be grateful for when we are paying our bills, and it puts us in a place of yeah, that money's gone from my account, but I know that there's more. There's always more coming. So it really, all of this is just a means and a method for us to expand our awareness and open ourselves to the endless possibilities and to become that clear channel to receiving all manifestations. Now, this week we're focusing on extra income manifestations and and other things, um, individual and personal to you. But this applies to all manifesting, all manifestations. Once you learn these tools, you will be able to wash, rinse, repeat with any topic, with any desire that you have. All right. So let's see. How's everybody's vibe right now? How are you guys all doing? I'm going to take a little breath here. Yes. Magnet. Am I pronouncing your name correctly? And is that I saw that and I thought, well, okay, that's a law of attraction term right there. We are magnets to the universe. I love it. So, says open to endless possibilities and online income. I love this. Yes. Online income is where it's at, folks. Yes, very cool. Okay. And your vibe is high. Good, 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 good. That's what we want to do. We're here to continuously raise the vibe, and maybe some of the things that I might say provoke or draw up some thoughts that might be blocking us. And this is a perfect opportunity to look at them and go, oh, that just really upset me, or that however it is, so that now you have an opportunity to weed your garden, is how I see it. We have these beautiful gardens with our thoughts, our beliefs, and all of that, and we periodically have to weed it. It's just the process. We're never going to be perfect, and they're going to pop up again, and then we just continuously weed them. We're the continual gardeners of our lives. And then Eileen is feeling calm. Dana is feeling great. Oh, Magnet says, yes, nickname, yep. That is a perfect nickname. I love it. So talk about intention. So Magnet's intention is to be a magnet. It's like that. That is the law of attraction at play. That's so cool. All right. So good. So glad you guys are doing well and picking up what I'm putting down, I hope, right? If you have any questions about anything I'm saying, just ask. Okay, let's see the time. Yes, you're welcome. All right, now I want to talk about the other part of the coin. So we talked about giving, the magic of manifesting, right? Now I want to talk about receiving. So it's really interesting, is what I see in my practice over and over, and even in my own life on occasion, is people say, oh yeah, I'm totally receptive. Oh yeah, I know. Yeah. I know that I'm wanting to manifest that. I'm completely receptive. I'm cool. And then that's the end of the conversation, and then they don't manifest what it is that they're wanting, and then they say that manifesting doesn't work and all of that. And I say to them, well, did you give something away? How receptive are you? And usually the problem lies in the receptivity. That's why I kind of wanted to save this for the last part. So we know the key, it is giving, and we can give all day. And I see this with a lot of empaths, and they give all day. But man, a lot of empaths, excuse my French, suck at receiving. Suck at it. And here's why. Because they are the natural givers. Giving is easier for the empath. We love it. We want to give, we want to heal, we want to do all that stuff. But when it comes to our own health and well-being, or receiving kindness or gifts or money, or our boyfriend paying the bills, helping out, doing his part, we have a hard time receiving it. We have a hard time. We feel guilty. We just have to justify, oh my gosh, well then, okay, well if you give me that, then I'll give you this. And I used to be like that. And now I am just so easy peasy with giving. Like when I told my friend Melody, I said, geez, I'm really burnt out. I just want to run away from home. She goes, okay, I'll book you a hotel for 3 days. And I'm like, cool, thanks. And that's how it is now. I don't have to hem and haw. Oh no, don't do that. Oh gosh, no. Oh well then, okay, then I'll have to get you next time. None of that. I have like zero, well maybe point 0.1 resistance to most receiving things. And so I am actually creating a quiz for you guys to take today on your level of receptivity. So if you can't receive something from a friend, like a cup of coffee or a meal, and you're that person who fights over the credit card, then how in the heck do you think that you can receive manifestations from the universe? The big asks, the project manifestations. The it's all about the details. It's all about how you live your daily life. There are clues in every single thing that you do. And so if you can't receive a compliment, somebody says, this happened to me yesterday. I went out to go get some food, and the waitress said, "Oh, by the way, your hair is really pretty." That was yesterday, not today. And and I just said, "Oh, thank you." Now, back 20, 30 years ago, I would not be able to receive that. I would have probably said weird things as a response or tried to compliment her back or something to get the spotlight off of me because I didn't like the spotlight on me. And I think that's a very typical empathic trait. So we're going to make sure that you are as receptive as you are giving, right? That you can take a compliment, you can take some money, you can let somebody buy you a meal without putting up a fight, without resisting, without any of that, letting somebody open the door for you, letting somebody let you into traffic without thinking that it's a conspiracy and they want something. You know, all of that mental chatter are blockages and they create resistance in the channel. So just remember, keep yourself a clear channel for manifesting. So let's even make that channel like a big giant pipeline, and inside the pipeline there's two pipes. One's giving and one's receiving. How are they? Take the pulse, look at them, feel them. Am I a good receiver? I am now. Am I a good giver? Heck yeah. Does that balance me out? You bet. So there's a lot of magic here. Not only does it, help you with the entire manifestation process, it just makes your life a lot sweeter, just a lot more fun, and then you get to play these games on the whole giving and receiving. And then when you notice things coming in, it's like, wow, the magic of the universe really does work. It really does have my back. It is really responding to my thoughts and to my beliefs and to my feelings. This is amazing how powerful I am. I want to do this all the time. And so that's, how I started my practice. And that's what I do for a living because I love it so much. And I just want you all to really tap into your magic. And especially as the empaths, I'm telling you, you guys have a leg up on a lot of other people. Not that it's a competition, but you are just naturally wired in many ways to be the more natural kind of manifestors, right? Okay, so Juliet says that she is motivated and optimistic. Woohoo! Yes. Magnet says I am a natural giver. Yes. Healer and mama. Yep. Hard for me to ask for help. Oh yes. That's a big one. Yep. The empaths, especially, and the healers, suck at receiving. They are awful at asking for help in a large majority. We have to get over that. and let me share with you a little story. Yes, this just recently happened, and this is something that I learned years ago. So, I recently moved into this place in March, and my son's coworker had a truck, and my son asked him to help me move, and I asked Wyatt to tell him I'm going to pay him, and it's a business deal. So this sweet young man helps me move into my place, and then I go reach into my wallet and I pull out like 320s, and then he just blocked me. He says, "No, no, 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 no. I can't take that. No, no, no. This is just a favor." And I started to say something, and then Wyatt said, my son said, "Just take it." Just take it. Don't block the flow of money here. Go spend it on your kids. So he intervened because he knows my ways and he knows how I am. And I thought that that was just so perfect. But the bigger thing is that if he shuts me down, he's blocking me of my opportunity or desire or need to give. And I see this with a lot of people. There's a lot of people who really want to give. And then when we say no, 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 and we shut them down, it's kind of like a kick in the pants. Like, no, 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 I've got this, and you're not necessary, and, I have no need for you. Majority of people have a need to feel needed. And so let's let them give. Let's let them give and just give without and receive without resistance and go. Your only response, I hardly ever say should be, but I'm saying it now. Your only response should be, thank you. Cool. Awesome. And then your opportunity, your turn to give will come later. They're all, it's just this dance. It's always happening. All right. Any questions or comments? Am I sparking any kind of memories or instances that have happened to you where you saw like instant manifestation after you helped somebody? I'm sure that if you get retrospective about your own life, you'll see how the law of attraction is always working. Always, always. And the last thing I want to talk to you about, I'm checking my notes, two more things I want to talk to you about. I want to talk about intuition, guidance. That's a part of the receptivity thing. So when we are manifesting and we're asking for the big project manifestations and even the small stuff, even the tiny stuff, like, okay, universe, where's my keys? I'm manifesting my keys to be found. That's a desire. And so big, little, size doesn't matter. I really do believe and know that we have some sort of spiritual guidance out there, helpers that are guiding us, or we're tapping into information. There's something happening out there, and I don't profess to understand or know it all. I just know it is. I know that we live in a responsive universe. I know that when we ask, we receive. We receive guidance, we receive answers, we receive information. And so part of the manifestation process, in that receptivity part, there's clues. A lot of times there's clues. Sometimes our manifestation will just poof, show up. Other times the manifestation may take some action on our part. And so, for example, you ask for that ideal job. So then you're going to get messages, seemingly out of the blue, or ones that just pop at you. They just, and that, oh, I need to apply for that. Or somebody mentions something to you, and it's like, I was just thinking of that. And so that's the guidance that comes to all of us. And when we're manifesting something big, it's important to be open and receptive to hearing or receiving the guidance that comes with majority of manifestations, right? Because typically it's like steps and different things. Because like I said yesterday, we don't know the hows. We are detaching from the hows. We're detaching from the who's. But we're staying open to the universe showing us the hows, the steps, the job to apply for. And it's only when I get that guidance that I move my feet. So, for instance, I'm not stuck in the house. I'm not doing a pros and cons list. I'm not doing all this mega research. I just put the request out there, and I know that the universe will give me some information in return. Like one of my manifestations is, the ideal help for my son. What does that look like? What does that look like? Is it a institution? Is it a rehabilitation? What is it? And so you ask the question, and then lo and behold, the clues will pop in somehow. Could be through people, could be through you hearing it in your head, in your mind's ear, seeing it in your mind's eye, hearing a conversation, seeing a billboard, seeing a commercial on TV, something that makes you go, oh, that was for me. Because you know that we're living in a world that's very noisy. And so when you get this higher information coming to you, it's very obvious because it makes you go, oh, that was for me. Things that make you go, yes, I'm dating myself. But a lot of people ask, how do I discern my thinking from that knowing? And it's like, well, I'm not thinking about it. I'm not doing that masculine pros and cons thing. I ask the question, I set the intention, I put my request in for the manifestation, and now I'm waiting for guidance. And so it takes faith, it takes a knowing, a confidence that it's here, it's coming, and it's just a matter of time. So I have patience, and it's usually pretty darn fast. So that information comes to us. It's different. It's not us efforting and thinking and monkey minding. It is information that literally drops into our laps or into our head or into our eyes. So we are these sensory beings, and the empaths are extra sensory beings, most definitely. We're just more in tune. We have less of a resistance to that information and guidance that comes our way. And so part of my practice, obviously, is I teach the intuitive stuff, the psychic development, the intuition development. Not doing that here, but I am putting a spotlight on it and saying that this is a huge part of your process for manifesting, in that whole receptivity part. Being a clear channel so you can hear the guidance, you can hear the messages. And so I'm going to include a link to a quiz that I have for those of you who have not taken it yet that tells you how you best receive your information. So there's 4 or 5 different categories. It's called the Claire quiz. And so either you are clairvoyant, which means you see in your mind's eye, or you're very visual. There's clairaudient, where you hear messages through they can be literal messages like through songs and music, or they can be in your mind's ear. There's the clairsentients, who feel everything. And then there's the claircognizant people they just know. Like, I have those all the time, like this morning with, my son, and all the times that I have manifested, let me see my son today. I want to manifest my son today. And then it's just like, boom, I just know where to go. I'm not thinking, I'm just moving, and then boom, he's there, So that's the claircognizance. So I'm going to post that quiz on the Facebook group so that you can take it, so you can know and understand how you best receive that guidance, and you can start playing with it and opening it up more and practicing more. So I hope I'm not scaring anybody away with all this, but there is so much more magic to manifesting than what we have been told, and that how the old way of doing it is. And it really speaks to us, the empaths, That's why I'm so excited about all of this, because we are just naturally already wired for this. Now we just need to understand how, or practice it, or realize that, because nobody told you. Nobody told us this stuff. I had to figure it out myself. And so now I know a few things, and now I want to share those things with you, and really loving your empathic nature, because a lot of the popular empath info out there is like, I don't know, it's pretty light and loose, or weird, and it talks about how we attract all the narcissists and all this stuff, and like we're doomed. But we're not. We're not. Yeah, we're sensitive, and we attract people who need to be fixed because we love to fix. It's our nature. That is a part of it. But the bigger part is that we are so highly psychic. We are so highly the healers. That's where my focus is, guys. We are the natural manifestors. And so I'm just leveraging all that to our benefit, so that we can do it our way that is more aligned with who we are. Okay, so any questions? Yay, Eileen. I love checking the open channel. Yes, keep your vibes. Check your vibes, check your channels. What's going on in there? Do we need to weed? Do we need to pull some weeds? Do we need to put a little new fertilizer in there? We're works in progress. And we're always going to be adjusting and adapting and evolving and growing. And it can get messy and it can be beautiful. And so the empathic, the intuitive empath, the manifester, just stay fluid. We just stay fluid and purposeful and mindful in the front of everything. Okay, Diana asks, what do you call an empath who interprets dreams? I have always had dreams all of the time. Well, this is interesting. And like I said, I have a whole quarter. So I'm teaching by the quarter, basically. And so next quarter, actually, for Halloween, we'll be exploring the intuitive empath and getting into the psychic development. But one of the ways that we receive that information is through dreams. And so it's a very less resistant way to receive for all of us, because we don't have a whole lot of blockage about that. But if you say the word psychic and I interpret, or I got a hit, a lot of people have blockages about that. It's like, what hooey are you talking about? What woo-woo crap is that? But nobody says woo-woo crap about dreams, right? So we have less resistance, we're open, it's a safe place for us to receive information and guidance. And so everybody's got that one. And you can really perk it up and play with it. And I hope you join me in the fall, and I will show you how to expand on your dreams and capturing them. Capturing them is the harder part for me, because they just kind of go away. Even the really profound ones, you're like, I will remember that one for sure. And then 10 minutes later, you're like, what was that? It's gone. So it can be a slippery slope. But energy, messages from spirit, messages from our high self, messages from the universe, the goodness, the benevolence, that is always yielding to us, is subtle. It's subtle. And so that's where us tuning in and raising our vibration and becoming clear channels is really important, so that we can catch the nuances, we can catch the subtle hits. Cool. Okay, the Claire Chris. Okay. Yes, of course. I will definitely join you. Mine are like vivid movies. Yes, I love it. Mine too. I can lucid dream. Every dream I have, it's lucid. I know that I'm dreaming when I'm doing it. It's pretty cool. And then you get to direct it. I can even get up maybe and have to use the bathroom and go back and catch in like 80% of the time. 20% of the time it's too late, but it's really cool. It's really cool, the stuff that we can do. And the information and the guidance that comes with it. This stuff is the guidance from on high, is what I call it. That's the stuff that I listen to. That's the only stuff that I trust and believe. A lot of well-meaning people will give us advice, but our hearts know, our souls know. The empath, we are wired, we get stuff, we feel, and that information that we feel is the stuff to be responding to, and just kind of blocking out the other noise, so to speak. Learning how to say, oh, thank you, didn't think of that, but then only tuning into our own selves, because that's where the information is. Our souls are connected to infinite wisdom. So that's the stuff. All right. So take the quiz, look for places to give today. And then the last thing, as the physical clear channel goes, oh, I'm a little over, sorry. Clean out your closet, clean something out, give something away inside your house. Inside your house, you already know, you don't even have to look. There's something in your house that is cluttered that you're like, oh man, someday I need to clean this out. Today or this week, clean it out. Organize it. Give stuff to the Goodwill. Whatever you need to do. The things that you aren't using in your life that are just creating clutter in your house, maybe you need to clean your desk, a cupboard in your kitchen, your refrigerator. You know what it is. All that does is block the channel. So the physical stuff, the mental stuff, it all works together. It's like this trifecta. I wrote the trifecta the other day. Where? Yeah, I can't remember what that was. It was a fleeting thought and I didn't write it down. See? So the whole mind, body, spirit thing is for real, and everything affects the other thing. So this is an opportunity to check our channels, to clear the channels on the physical level, on the mental level, and on the spiritual level, just so that we can manifest like boss queens that we are and get her done, and when you're cleaning things up and getting rid of things that no longer serve you or no longer fit, or it's just excess noise, you are actually creating a vacuum to receive more. And so you're telling the universe that I know that whenever there is an emptiness or a vacuum, that nature or God abhors a vacuum, says the quote, and it will be refilled. So let's refill it with something better, Let's prove that we aren't attached to these things and we're just holding on to them for no apparent reason, other than maybe hoarding or lack or limitation or whatever that's about, and release that stuff, give it away, and trust that, more will always come, more always comes. So I want to leave you with that. All right, Debbie's here. Hey, Debbie. Now she says, as I was coming out of anesthesia yesterday, I got a very clear picture of the place I'm supposed to move to. Is that because my channel was wide? Yes, Debbie, that's exactly why. That's exactly why people do drugs. That's why people do ayahuasca. That's why people drink. That's why people get high. That's why people meditate. We all have our different ways to open up that channel and to connect with source. And, anesthesia is most definitely, you're just a wide open channel. And you hear all kinds of different things that happen with people, near-death experiences and visions that they get when they're coming out or almost dying. It's quite amazing how when you feel like you got nothing left to lose kind of thing, you're in that mode, and the drugs help lift some of those limitations from our heads. We see more clearly. That's why people like mushrooms, all that stuff. I don't do drugs. I don't like them. I will never do ayahuasca. I think that I would never come back to planet Earth. If I did, I would probably like it too much and lose my mind. So I don't play in that realm, but I know how to access spirit on a dime. You know, it's just a breath away. Meditation, breathing, visualization, doing it right now. You know, I can do it on demand. So I don't need all that extra stuff, but I love that that's a demonstration of how it works. It's exactly how it works. So yes, we can achieve a very similar state of mind naturally. All right. So, all right, ladies, thanks for sharing. Any last comments, revelations, questions? Please feel free to ask them now. And as you are typing, I'm going to remind you of your homework again one more time. So today you're going to be giving something away, or looking for places to give. They'll find you. They'll find you. Don't even look. They'll find you. And then when they find you, just give something away. Clean up some clutter if you have it in your house. You know, I also study feng shui. It's like the science and art of energy in your house. And I started this whole thing saying everything is energy, right? So we're going to clean up our energy. And then, what did I also ask for you to do? Oh yeah, you're going to take the quiz, the receptivity quiz. And I'll put that on there as soon as I finish doing it. I haven't finished creating it yet. So I'll have that. And then, of course, the empath quiz as well. Or the which intuitive gift you have. Okay, so it sounds like a lot, but it's actually really good stuff, and it's very insightful to learn more about who you are and how you're operated, especially as that empath. Okay, ladies, sounds like we're good to wrap up. Go ahead, and if you do have questions, just post them in the Facebook group, and I'll see you over there. Okay, all right, and then of course I'll see you back here tomorrow morning at 10. Thank you. I love being here with you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for caring. Thank you just for being who you are and showing up. This is good stuff, and I'm really honored to be here with you. All right. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll be in touch.